Good morning, lovely people. I'm sorry that I'm a bit late. I can't even see any one of you yet. I'm not very well prepared today. I'm sorry. Oh, where is it? Twitch. There we go. There we go. Oh, I got the echo again. There. So let me put this over here. I don't even have a chat yet. I'm sorry if anyone's already here and chatting with me. I'm super sorry. There we go. Need to make a post on Discord. Hey Coca. I'm doing fine. I'm a bit late, I'm afraid. So I had to take care of something and I'm super sorry that I wasn't able to install the lighting yet. Terribly sorry. Hey Siesto. Good afternoon. Good morning back from me. What was it that I wanted to do right? Post something on Twitter too. Actually, let me go ahead and copy something. There we go. Okay, well then, welcome everyone. Let me get a quick sip. Should we wait for a bit till a few more people are joining? There was something that I had to change on OBS and on Twitch. I'm not sure what it was. But anyway, thank you guys so much for the additional followers. Can you give me a quick feedback if my voice is okay? Because my microphone seems to wobble around a bit. I'm not sure why. I will not be playing music today. This is something that I took away from last stream. Oh, wow, this looks very bad overall, right? I need to update the resolution, right? Yeah. So for here, I think we went with this. And on OBS, this should probably be full screen. Or at least close to it. Okay. Great. So, compared to last time, this time I will be actually recording, but it wasn't that big of a deal, honestly, because on Twitch you can just say export to YouTube, and well, then it came over here. Oh, I'm on YouTube Studio. Let me get back to my channel. Right. So the VOD from last stream is online. And of course it will also be stored on Twitch for a while, but I think only for 2 weeks or something like that. So overall, streams here will be preserved forever, hopefully. And on Twitch they will disappear after 2 weeks. Okay, so let me have a look at who's in chat. Can I look at Coca? Yeah, well, hi. I think there are a lot of bot accounts. Siesto said hi. Okay. Anyway, should we wait for a bit or should we start? For today, we will of course be continuing the development of the multi-tenant feature. And yeah, we'll see how far we get. The thing is, the more people are here and the more people are asking questions, the more I can interact with you. So if there's anything you guys need or are interested in learning, give me a shout and I will do my very best to explain. Alright, so my feet are a bit cold, but I guess, actually, let me get this little pillow over there. Okay, so, you said the voice is fine, there's 5 people here, which is enough for me to start. Unless anyone posted something somewhere, something that I want to revisit. Where is it? Where's my browser? Oh, it's over there. Actually, I need a new tab. We go over here. There we go. I asked the question on Twitter yesterday what people were interested in seeing. Where was it? There we go. The question was how you approach building a SaaS product, like the whole process of ideation, approach, and picking the right tech stack. Right? So this is something that I tried to answer quite a few times, but I will be glad to do it again. The thing is, like, let's do it step by step, right? So the first one is the process of ideation, or how to come up with an idea, I presume. And the thing is, well, an idea needs to come from somewhere, right? And the question is, where does it come from? And, well, of course, there's two big possibilities, right? Either they come from you yourself or from some external party. I personally prefer it if they come from some external party, and I tell you why. I had a few ideas myself, and I developed them, and they weren't big successes. Let's put it that way. And the businesses or the projects that I did that had the most commercial success, where I made the most money of, were the ones where I did not have the idea myself. And honestly, it doesn't matter where the idea really comes from. The thing is, you want to have someone else have an idea, and then you need to be the one to actually create the idea. Right? You'd have to take someone else's vision and bring that vision to life. So that way, these people immediately feel connected to the entire thing and are more inclined to be customers or work with you. And there's a few things you can think about how to find such people that have an idea. Of course, people that are leaders in an industry, ideally not in a software industry, are the people that I love to work with most. If you remember from last stream, my businesses that I run, or the software products that are most successful for me, are the one in the real estate and rental business. And until a few months ago, Rick Sanderson Sanchez, thank you for following. And until a few months ago, I wasn't in the real estate business myself, right? I'm now founding a real estate company with 2 other great people, but that's beside the point. The point is, I worked with, when I had the business that I started that we sold to Airbnb, right? This was for landlords that were selling on Airbnb or renting out on Airbnb, and I wanted to sell this product to someone else who had hotels, had big luxury resorts, and they told me that they're not interested, right? They have the people to manage this anyway. They don't want to digitize it because their people need work, essentially. Fine. But during the talk, I was able to listen a lot and ask specific questions that led them to tell me more about their actual problem state. And when they told me what their problems are, I was able to rephrase the question in a way where I said, so this and this is a problem, right? And perhaps this and this would be how to solve this problem. And then they agreed, and they actually worked with me. And the thing is, they have the feeling that it was their idea to fix this, or their idea for the software product, and in a sense it was true. I didn't have the idea. I talked to them, and I listened very carefully, and then I came up with a problem solution. And this is how I think the process of ideation is. Or this is what I like most. If you compete with something, if you have your own idea that it should be for something that solves the problem you have yourself. Because if I, for example, I am, let's see, I'm in a dire need for a barber, right? So see my hair, it needs some attention. I don't know anything about this. If I were to create some type of software solution for a barbershop, for example, to suggest someone's hairstyles, I don't think I would do a very good job because I have no idea of the actual domain. I think it might be nice to suggest perfect hairstyles for people, but I don't really know what's important, right? I don't know, is the head shape important? Like, I don't know, maybe the distance between eyes, I have really no idea. Thing is, if I were to talk to a professional hairdresser or barber, they would have an idea, and if together with them I could create a better product. And that's the same with everything I think about. Unless it is a problem, unless you're solving your own problem and then have a lot of peer people that have the same problem, right? So for example, if I were to, obviously I can't think of anything great now because then I would already do it, but I could copy something. For example, there's a lot of tools for managing your Twitter profile, for example, because we have Twitter open here. And if I myself were interested in like scheduling posts, I know it's possible with Twitter itself now. It wasn't a bit before. Then it would be a problem that I needed. My own problem would be solved, right? And then of course, there's a lot of other people using Twitter. They might also be interested in using this. Where's my chat gone again? Can you explain get absolute URI? Yeah, sure. I couldn't jump into this too. Let me just finish this. Then for approach, you have to talk a lot with people. The more you design early, there is a super great diagram, right? I'm not sure if I can find the diagram, but if I can't, I will. Yeah, I think this is right. Yeah, that's right. So you have, what are we seeing here? Okay, so that's for a construction company. That's not for software development. But the idea is the same, right? At the very start, you have your thinking process, right? And during your thinking process, the opportunity to add value is super high. You can change stuff very easily, and it's super easy to change stuff and super cheap. So it's super important to think a lot before you. I see a lot of people say just get going, and that's fine. Thinking about it is also getting going. You have to lay out the overall idea how you want to do stuff, and talk to other people. It's super important to talk to other people, or to at least Roboduck. Right, if I have the problem and I talk to you on stream, who aren't really talking back to me, there would also be possible that I would learn from this, right? I could also learn from you, which is great. Or I will also just learn from talking to someone, or talking to the wall, or a Roboduck. And once you have a clear standing of what you want, you design your MVP, your minimal viable product, something that needs to be in there to at least work, and that's great. And then you can start with the design, with the implementation. And with the implementation, you have, basically picking the right tech stack depends on a lot of factors, which I would need a concrete example for. And the implementation is then basically just writing the code. Right? You would just bring your thoughts that you had onto the screen. So, can you explain get absolute URL? Yes, I can. Did you see it somewhere? Is it here? Yeah. So what it means, get absolute URL, this is a class function which would just return the URL for an instance of user, right? So if we fire up this stack, while this is booting, a quick overview what I did from last time. Here I made a commit which said pretty much just work in progress, the end of stream 1, where I added everything that we changed back then. I also fixed my local Python environment, and I can run pre-commit now before and without having to step into the container. Alright, so getting absolute URL means for one object of the user class, so for one concrete user, their URL would be determined by this function. So actually it is called somewhere else, which is what, there you go. So for the success URL, which means after a user has been updated, right, it returns the URL for the user, right, so where to redirect the user, right, and I think it is somewhere else too. Let's say test. Okay, so it's just a test. This has booted, right, so let's have a look here. If I sign in, I did use this, I think. You can see here, this is my URL, right? So this is the absolute URL from my user profile. So that is what get absolute URL does. It defines how this is called. All right. Did this answer your questions? Yes, no. Sorry that it was a bit late. I didn't look at chat because I was answering the other question. So, what we were doing, we wanted to, because if there are no other questions, I would just continue on with this. Alright, so what we did last time, we added organizations, right, and the option to add a new organization. If we look into the database, MetaMouse, thank you for following. If we look into the database, we have let's look at the code, honestly. If we look at the models of organizations, right, we have the name. Yeah, those are just like meta fields, we don't care about them. But we have the owner, right, which is the person that initially created the organization and who will probably at a later stage of time will be allowed to, for example, change the billing or add a new credit card for the entire organization to use. Then we have a list of admins and a list of members, which is pretty much everything we need for now. Here I create a few organizations, and if we click one organization, we have this is member. This was one of the earlier organizations that I created before we had the other logic. And any of these, yeah, this one is a newer one. This has already me set as the owner. All right, so back here, what is important now? We have an organization. We could go for, yeah, this is an overview of all organizations we're part of. Keep in mind, we will do the styling when we have the functionality done, and we haven't settled on a design framework or a design library or anything like that. So I will just be putting the information up onto the screen, and we will fix it when we decide. So this was the form to add a new organization. We could add a name, a description, and an image. I don't want to add an image now. So what's up next? We can do a detail page, right? And to do a detail page, we have two options. We can either just create a new function, or we can use a class-based view. I don't care which one you want to use. And the question is also, do we want to have a login gate here, right? Probably do. So we're gonna add login required here for the decorator, which means that you cannot access this without being logged in. So if you were to visit this page, if you were to visit this page on an incognito tab and click on organizations, you were prompted to log in, right? As before, you would just have seen an empty page. Okay, so you need to be logged in to view your organizations. And of course, when you look at the list view, you will only see the ones where you are a part of. Great. So let's go for a detail view, which will also be login required. Oh, there's already an example. Let's have a look at this. I hate to call this UUID. It will also be a string and not a number. Okay, this looks good so far. There is something important missing here. Who knows what? There is something important missing here. Who can tell me what? While you are hopefully already typing, I will copy over this. Okay, so there's only 8 people here, not too many engaged, so let me explain instead. If I were to keep it like this, right, then you pretty much only would need to have the UUID of an organization that could access it. So if you are not allowed to access the organization, then you probably shouldn't, and we need a gate here. Right, so we have the organization, which is determined by the UUID. How do we prevent a regular user who is not a part of the organization to actually view the organization? I'll put some models over here so you can see a bit more. So we could do something like exactly this. We have created this all members function, which returns us all members, right? So if the user is not allowed to do this, to view this, they will be redirected to the overall list. Okay, so far so good. Some quick intermission. What you're not seeing here is the Django debug toolbar, and I have no idea why. This must be an error with the Django cookie cutter template. I have no idea why this doesn't work, but we will fix this because we will need the debug toolbar to actually see whether we are doing fine or if we are creating super bad queries. And to do this, we will find the DJDT, no, what's it called? The toolbar. Is it in local? Yeah, okay, might be in local pi. Where is it? There we go. So for the config, this has, I have no idea why this hasn't been updated, and I think we probably should do a pull request for the what's it called? Pull request for the Django cookie cutter, because what it does need now is it needs a function to actually be whether it should be visible or not, right? And as a matter of fact, on the other screen, I will just copy and paste this from another project that I had before we had to search for too much. Where is it? It is in this one, I think. Where did all members come from? All members did come from this function that we added to the model of the organization. If you remember from last time, this was where we used the union operator. We can add an edit decorator for this later. This should be fine. So what it's called, it is Right, so what it needs is so-called show tool callback. Right, so this should probably have been somewhere here too. Oh, sorry. Yeah, so we would need this one. So we need a function here, which would always return true. So in this case, I'm gonna create this function above here, just because it needs a callback function, right? So we can't just write through here because it needs a function to call to check whether it should render the toolbar or not. So let's go over here, and if we, okay, something crashed here. I got a notification. Did someone follow? Never sick. Thank you for following. All right, so let's refresh this. And what we should see now is, there we go. We see this Django debug toolbar icon here. And actually let's do the dual chat setup again. We did last time. I probably should have a fixed window here. So where were we? Here. And what the Django debug toolbar helps us with a lot of stuff, right? So we can see a lot of different things here, or like how long a page took to load, but what we really care about is this tab, right? So how many queries? There were 3 queries and in 5 milliseconds. So what are the queries and were they important or not? So this one is the regular Django session query, which just gets us our active user. Here we get our user detail from a user, right? So this is just the regular metadata we get for the request user, which we can also use in the template. And then here is a bigger query. And there's a lot of joins, right? But this one is required for this check, right? So what this does is we called here all members from the organization, right? And this is what the query looks for a database. So we can optimize this later, but for now we are fine. What's important is that we don't see like 50 queries or something like this. Great. So we can have we edit our detail view. What we need to do now, of course, is go into the URL and add the detail view. Come on. Do you want to suggest something? Very good. This is perfect. And into the list view, we will probably want to add a link to the detail view. Let's be a bit dirty here because we will have to update it later. Anyway, when we do styling, we add the URL to organization detail. There we go. And then of course we will have to add the org by UUID. Right, let's close the anchor tag here. My bad. Wait. Oh, I never closed this. There we go. Okay. So this pretty much should be it. If we see, we should be able to click on these now and get an empty page. What? Oh, my bad. We weren't. This request is just for the list view for this one. This is just fetching all the organization the user is part in. This one is something different. Okay, so we have a problem here, and the problem is that, what's the problem? I see something is wrong with the union operator, right? So actually, let me just print this if this works. So the issue persists, and I think I know why. Because I think the problem is these two are query sets, right? And this is not a query set, it's just an instance. But since we change, let's have a look at how the organization view works. So after we create an organization, we set the user as the owner, right? And we also add the user to the admins. So technically we wouldn't need to have the owner here, and they're already there because we also get the admins. And now, yeah, now it works. Because the union operator is only for the query sets and it's not for a regular object, right? So let's have a look at our requests. There was an additional query. We had, of course, these two queries will always be relevant, right? So this is just your active current Django session, and then your user, which you're authenticated with. Now here we go. This fetched the organization itself, and this checked. This fetched all the members from the organization, and we of course have two joins from the main user table, joining on both the members and the admin. GNM coder, thank you for following. Welcome, man. Hey, how are you doing? So to both new people like Neversick, GNM coder, and MetaMouse, how do you find the stream? Also, Rick Anderson Sanchez. How did you get aware? How do you find the stream? From one of the posts, or just from Twitch directory, perhaps? And we can of course delete this one now and put this back in. Yeah, how do you find the stream? How did you come to my stream? So you were just making a search in Twitch. Well, that's awesome. All the time I use to promote myself somewhere else were unneeded. In the creative section. Okay, cool. Well, welcome aboard. Thank you for joining. So if we click now, we go to the detail page, right? And for the detail page, we have our 4 queries, which we need to check the... you're actually learning Python. Well, that's great. How are you learning? From a book, from streams, from videos? Have you worked with any of the web frameworks, like with Flask or Django books? Okay. Which books are you reading? I'm super sorry for being super bad at multitasking. It's called organization here, and for detail we will also be doing organization.name, right? And okay, let's add the description too, because why not? This one doesn't have a description, but the thing is we also want to render the member list here. Automate tasks with Python. I wasn't aware of this book. I'm sorry. I had never really read any of the development books. But yeah, join a Discord, like Coco suggested. Okay, so what we want to have on the detail page, we of course want to have a list of. Let's just show the admins, right? So. And I know I will be doing this better later, but for now let's just do it like this. Yeah, this works. Okay, then let's also do the members. But being completely honest, I tell you how I would do it normally, right? So, usually what I would do is, for example, if I were using Bootstrap, and for now what's this? I just want to go to get Bootstrap, right? So this page. So if I were using Bootstrap, and here we are using Bootstrap, because we can see this in the base HTML file, we have Bootstrap here, Bootstrap 5.2.3, and that's probably, let's go to this one, or maybe let's bump it up. Wait, hang on. Do we want to update to, maybe we should update. What's it paired with? Whatever, let's go with this. I have no idea if changing this from Cloudflare to JSLR would have any legal implications, so I will have to research this later. There we go. So what I would do is I would look for any type of component that would fit my idea, right? So what would make sense here? Let's go the way I would do it, and not just do this half-assed right now. So let's do it properly. So I would probably have a list of admins, like an actual list, or a table with icons that you could change, right? So let's go something that works. We could do something like this. We could do a table. Do we have a table here? I'm sure there's a table somewhere. Yeah, we have tables here. Perhaps we should do something like this. What would make sense? Do we want to have a table like, okay, these are just styling options, I think. Okay, so what we do now, we will do, wait, what is this double call span? Okay, so we will just go ahead and nick this code here for the detail page. We will delete all of these. We have a number, fine. Then we have a name. Actually, let's translate this too. Then we have, do we have an email? Perhaps we have an email too. Then what we also want to do is have the permission type, whether they are a member or not. I'm not sure how we call this, what the proper will be, type, perhaps. And then I also want to do something like actions here. So for here, we would of course need another one. Then for, let's not use user, for, well, let's go with admins, right? For admin, in an organization dot, we have admins, all. What would we add here? So we would have, of course, a for loop counter, but the thing is, if we actually, let's go with all members. The thing is, if we do all members, right, do we know how the order is from this? Like, would we just have members before and admins afterwards, or what's the ordering here? Very interesting. Let's just give it a try, I think. Let's go with all members, which of course returns a query set, so we wouldn't need the all anymore. Here we actually do the for loop counter starting with 1. Here the first thing is the name, which is, let's call this members then, member. Member is a instance of user type, so we just name here. Here we do member.email, I think. So here we have to show whether they are an admin or not. So let's think about something that's important, that works later on. Okay, now we have, oh, so we don't want this anymore. Why does this look so weird? Did I fail to change? Oh yeah. So of course the row should be there. You go in one, you don't. Wow, what? You go over here, great, and you go over here. Okay, so I myself am in there 3 times. Huh. Because I am the owner, I'm an admin, and I am myself. So if we just go with admins, all, I'm not in here because I am not an admin. Remember, this was an organization that existed before we had the admins. So yeah, we do admin here. I'm not an admin, as I told you. Let's copy this for members, I think, right? Members. Say member, okay. So now I am here as a member. Let's look at another organization, maybe this one. I'm here as an admin. Great. So, what do we also care? We want to make some actions here. So let's do one action. Actually, this is where we will add HTMX now. So HTMX, it has been requested last time. Let's have a look at what HTMX does and how we can use it. So the thing about Django itself, of course, is if you click somewhere, if you want to have something change on the screen, you would need to have a complete redirect and a new page load. Yes, so you can see the URL changes every time, and you of course also change that. Well, why? Because, well, Django is not JavaScript. So if we have JavaScript, we could do whatever we want. But JavaScript is a bit annoying at most times, so HTMX bridges this gap very nicely. So overall, what it does is, for example, if we click on something, or if we do any action, it will send a request to our backend and then answer with HTML, right? It answers with HTML and not with, for example, with a JSON object. So we could just use this HTML that the backend gives us and put it inside somewhere else. Right. As a matter of fact, this is what we're gonna do. So we go to our documentation, and I think there is the installation, which is super easy. You just copy the minified version here. We go into our base HTML, and what do we need to do this? What is it? Add this to your head tag, so it needs to be loaded before our body. We put it in here. There we go. And now we already have HTMX installed, right? So every time we will load the website, we will also load HTMX. Let's have a look at the network tab here. We should see HTMX when we reload the page. There you go, we have HTMX loaded. So far so good. Sorry that I keep looking at chat because they have a different color here. Here, of course, the name is green, and here it is red, and that's why I think there's always something new going on. Okay, so for actions, what is something that we want to do? Yeah, for example, we want to change a user to an admin or an admin to a user. So the thing is, after we click this, we don't want to refresh the entire page, we just want to refresh the table. So what we're going to do now is put this table into a new file. All right, so the way I like to do it, you can of course change this up the way you want. If you have organization, we can also do create a new directory, and I always call this snippets. Snippets, for example, what we call this member table.html. And the way I differentiate is, if you extend the base HTML, it's a full page, right? Because it also has the nav bar and everything. But if you don't, it's just a snippet, right? Because it's just a part, and that's good. We of course have to load the tags here too. And if we refresh this page, it's gone. But what we can do for the initial load is we're going to create a div, and we are going to create a div and give this we give this an ID. Call this we call this organization members or member table. Right, we're going to close the div. The reason why we need this div is because we will need to swap the content of this div, right? And what we can do now is, of course, we can do include. And here we are going to do organization /snippets /member table. And here we are back where we were before. Stiflor, thank you for following, means a tremendous amount to me. Welcome, welcome. If you want to share a few words about yourself, please feel free to do so. And now here we go. We have the member table here, right? So we're pretty much just at the same point where we were before, but this formatting is horrible. But we can now easily update the contents of this, right? So what we also need to do now is gonna create a new views file in organization. We have our views here, right? And what I like to do also is HTMX views, which pretty much does the same, but will only be for HTMX. So what we do now, or want to do now, is this views here. Hey, you're a Django enthusiast from France? Bonjour, I think. Welcome, welcome. If you want to add any request that we do on either this stream or the next streams, feel free to do so, and I will consider every request. So we are just gonna be a bit sneaky here and copy this over, and we will update. We will make this smarter. Hang on. So this comes from shortcuts, and this also comes from shortcuts. So now what's the difference between this? There's no difference yet because we didn't do anything. But we need a function that gives us all the information we need to render the member table, right? So what do we need? We need the organization. Okay, so far so good. We have the organization here. But of course we will want to go to snippets, and no, it's not called organization detail. What am I doing? It is called member table. Okay, with the organization. Great. So something that we can do now in our URLs. Whatever, over here. Okay, let me. There are a few ways how we can structure this. The way I do it, and I think it just needs to be consistent, is I do a separate section here where I just call it HTMX views. And that's pretty much just it. Of course, the view will be a different one. I like to prefix them all with HTMX. Wow, that was a weird sound here. Members list or member list? Let's keep this consistent. It is called member table. There we go. I would have messed up already. So we call this function member table, and which is what we want to put back here. And of course, now here, if we were to change this and just add htmx slash. So what's the problem? Yeah, I did a leading slash here, which is wrong. Here, all we are getting here is just this teeny tiny table, right? No good formatting, nothing, but that's all we need, right? What we care about is if we make any changes here, we were to have the table. So let's go back to htmx, and actually, as a matter of fact, let's go back to the examples with the get. I just want to do the super simple get. Yeah, something like this. Okay, so we do a simple demonstration here. So for our detail page here, where we are, like this one, if we do this, there won't be much more than just a button here, right? There's a button here that doesn't do anything. So, because, well, we don't have slash clicked, this doesn't exist. But if we are also going to look at the targets of htmx, right? So the targets are important because hx swap, just outer HTML, fine, but what we essentially want to do, we want to do the inner HTML of member table, right? So we want to do everything that's here, we want to refresh that. So let's go back to the reference or the docs. So yeah, there we go. Targets. There we go. Now we have something more detailed. So we want, yeah. So we have an hx target of search results. Actually, let's also make this get because we don't want to. So, for URL, of course, we can do. We want to have organization htmx member table with the organization UUID. I should have just called it org. And then we have the target. The target is of course the member, also hash member table, or a pound sign, I think is what it's called. So we now have our target, right? Actually, let's comment this out because we don't need this. There we go, it's gone. And if we click this, there we go, we have the table here. And let's see how the DOM changes. Here, with our body, we have, okay, I have a lot of extensions loaded, so, but the thing is, I have member table, which is an empty div here, and if I click it, see member table now has a child, which is the table. If we click this, this will always be updated. Right, so what we care now is, so what do we need to do now? What our goal was, so actually let's put this back in here and see what happens if we reload the page. If we click this, it just updates it behind the scenes. We don't even see it updating. If we have the inspect tab open, we will see the color change somewhere. Where is it? There we go. See, you can see the. And the thing is, if you look closely, you will see over here where it says "click me now." There's a short where it says HTMX request. It changes its own class with HTMX request, so that you see or that HTMX knows there's an ongoing request here. So far, so good. We can of course remove the click me afterwards. So the main goal of the member table though is if we were to click on an action, we want to do an action, which we So let's do a button. We do a class of a button primary. Let's do a small button because it will look stupid afterwards. Otherwise, just do something. Let's see if this works. Okay, so I'm not sure if the button class works. Yeah, we needed to add the BTN. So we have a button. This doesn't look small now. Does the order matter here? Or maybe Bootstrap changed something with the buttons. This happened to me a few times. Where is a small button? Oh, this already is a small button. Oh, alright, it's because my screen is so huge. I have my screen on quadruple zoom, so it looks great on stream, but I have a huge monitor here and I want it to look great for you guys. This is why I thought it was a bigger action. So there we go, we have this one. And what we can do now is make member, for example. Right, so if you click on make member, something would happen. What would happen? We can define it ourselves. So we of course can now, let's give this a try. Pretty much everything here, we can use this. Oh, sorry, of course it says a button. We also keep this. I want to make a new line so it's more readable. And what do we care about? Where does it need to make a request? It shouldn't just make a request to the table because we don't just want to have the table, but instead what we want to do is let's just duplicate this and call this toggle member type. Type is what we call it, not status. Type, of course. So we get the organization. Do we care about the organization here? For UUID we get. So let's think about it. What is everything we need to change this? When is a user allowed to change the status of another user? Now that is important for us. Can any admin change the status of any other admin? Or is the owner the only person that is allowed to change status? This is a design decision. What do you guys care about? Should any admin be able to make new admins? Should we add a super class, like a super admin? As a matter of fact, I will make it like the way just the owner is allowed to change this. And in the URLs, what we need, of course, is I think admin should be able to do it. Any admin? Yeah, okay. We will add a check, and then you can change the check the way you want. So let's do a different URL. What we need the, of course, we have the UUID from the organization. And then we will probably also add, let's have a look at the URLs if there's anything we care about. No, okay, let's also then do the UUID of the, or is probably could also do it as a string. We are calling this member ID. Will of course be toggle member type. And what do we care about? Yeah, so pretty much similar to here. Of course, we need another argument. We are gonna call it or we did call it member. Let's do underscore ID because this is more consistent with the entire code base. Member ID, which is also a string. And let's get the member, which is a user. Okay, fine. There we go. So, what are our requirements here? When are they allowed to do this? Let's think about it. So in this line, we're going to do all checks we need. So if the user, the request user, is not an admin, so this is, this is a, there we go, this was just a manager. So if the user is not an admin, or the member, or the member is not in, the members, because you can't just otherwise you could just make, if you're, you technically need to be an admin, but you could just put any random user, make any random user admin. PunkyChip, thank you for following. Means a lot. If you want to introduce yourself, please do so. So for this means that you can, hello there. You need to be an admin, or the request user needs to be an admin, and the member needs to be part of the organization. PunkyChip, thank you for the subscription, man. Wow. That was a very interesting first minute. Thank you so much. Hello there, twice back. You get the beautiful founder badge. Thank you so much. All right. So we are going to do the redirect here, and we just don't redirect them back to the organization. So we could redirect them back to the. But the thing is, okay, let's think about it, because the redirect doesn't make sense here anymore. Because we are not redirecting something, we are going to render something, right? We don't want to issue a redirect. So in fact, we want to, for example, return. So yeah, now the thing is, actually, as a matter of fact here, this is the member table. We aren't going to use this much anymore. Let's leave this as is. How are you doing today? I'm doing fine. How are you doing is the question. How did you find the stream? And what led you to just subscribe the first minute you were here? Or were you a long-time lurker anyway? So many questions. So if the question here is, what is it that we care about? If the user, let's make this, let's change this, if the user is an admin and the user is a member, then we are going to do something, right? And we'll pass, so Python doesn't kill us. And then we're going to return the member table anyway, right? So if the user is not an admin or it's not allowed, then yeah, we don't make any changes. We just give them back the original member table that the user already saw. You're doing already. You're procrastinating on your own project. Well, if this is something you guys care about, we could also do a co-working stream for one day, where we do a 30-minute introduction of everyone, what everyone is working on. Then we do 1 or 2 hours of focused work, and then we recap. Maybe this will help. See, it is a sign of a person that's actually better than they let on if they say they are still beyond incompetent, because you would need to be a very good person to actually understand that you're not the best yet. Euro-join programming is awesome. It's like you are like some tiny god in your own universe. You can create whatever you want, right? It's great. And the thing is, it's not just great because it's fun and you enjoy it, but because it has no ceiling. With programming, you can do anything you want. You can make your own life easier. You can just become more intelligent in general. But of course, you could also make a business out of it. You can do whatever you want. This is awesome. So, if we were to focus back on this project, what is it we care about? So, here we toggle the member type. Okay? So, the changing user needs to be an admin. Right? And the member just probably should be like in all members, right? So this way an admin could also toggle all the other admins. So let's do it like this. So we don't need a different function for making admins to members and the other way around. So what we're gonna do now is with transaction atomic, this is important because of the way because we only want either all or none of the statements executed. If we because otherwise you could, because to change this you will need to remove the user. If you were to change an admin to a member, you need to remove the user from the admins and then add them to the members, right? And if there were some kind of problem in between those two commands, the user would just be removed as an admin and it wouldn't be a member, right? So with transaction atomic, you ensure that all of them will be executed as once and either all or none will be executed. So here we are going to do it like this. So if the member is an admin, we're going to remove them from admin and add them to members. And otherwise we are going to do, let's do this same way around. Let's remove first and add later. There we go. So this should be it, right? And this will be executed as an atomic transaction. And afterwards we will just return the member table. So let's go back to our member table itself. Here we send a request of an unspecified request. It works as a GET request, it works as a POST request, whatever, whatever. It's not really important. But the URL is, and for URL, MJD, thank you for tuning in again. So here, for detail, no, not for detail. Let's cut these back a bit. For the member table, the URL will be this one. You immediately see this highlighted because we also need to add the member ID. We of course have member.uuid for this. Okay, so and then we target the member table, which is not visible here, but will be visible in the DOM because, did I close the detail now? Oh boy. Because here, this will be part of this, so we can remove this one again. This was just for the showcase, so I show you how this HTMX stuff works. Long live, oh boy, this is this. Likely a ban evader. Yeah, very good. Can we remove all the messages? Oh, they haven't been published anyway. So what are I gonna do? I don't want to show these idiots posts. Yeah, well, sorry. So this is a scamming idiot. Yeah, so I'm a bit out here. So what do we have here? We have messed up this one. So yeah, I don't have reverse match for something. For what? Okay. Well then, let me just Not a profile, what? So member type, this one hasn't been found. Oh, it was empty because the member doesn't have a UUID. What? So maybe I mistyped. I have member, which should be a user. Oh, did we not call? Oh, user doesn't have a UUID. User has an ID because we haven't made the change. So this is just an integer value with the member ID. And then of course we will also add this here. I mean, they did send a message, and because I'm an idiot and I'm not good enough to have like a. Usually I would have the chat overlay here, right? But since I changed my Twitch username, this didn't work, so I'm just putting the chat over there, so you guys can see. I mean, you guys can see the chat all the time anyway, right? But it makes, yeah, I don't know. I want to have the chat visible on stream, because when we upload this to YouTube, I also want the people on YouTube to like know what's going on. And if I can't do the overlay properly, I will do it like this. So now we have the integer for the member ID. Okay, let's see if this works. Yeah, we also have the ID here because this is a default type. Let's see if this works now. Okay, so this works. So if we click on make member, let's see what happens. Did you well, I just make the change. You saw I made myself a member and I'm no longer an admin, and now I can't do anything anymore. So there we go. So this works now. And of course what we also could do is we should also add the make admin button to members. Here we're gonna do make admin. This won't work. So why does this not work? Because we are failing the check here. Where is it? We are failing this check because I am no longer an admin. So I can't make myself an admin, of course. So to make myself an admin, I need to, of course, go into the admin panel. What are we? Go into the test organization. And actually, let's see what happens if I toggle myself over here. So now I'm an admin and a member. Oh yeah, obviously I can't be a double end list. Now I'm an admin again. No, sorry. What did I click? Okay. Yeah, I do write tests for this. When? At the later times of the stream, because writing tests is not fun. Okay, so I can make myself an admin. Wait, so. Oh, okay. So this check, this is why it didn't work. This check assumes, this only checks if I'm an admin, and if I'm an admin, no matter what I click, I will become a member. Because this, of course, didn't think that I would be both a member and an admin. So let's just make something else. I make myself an admin again. Great. And I will also add a new user. Something, whatever's in my clipboard will be the password. This guy is now a member. I'll look back here. Oh, of course we have this stupid for loop counter now. Probably not smart to have this one. Actually, let's remove the for loop counter. So I could, this is the other guy, make them an admin. Now they're an admin too, and now I make them a member. And you see I don't need to refresh the page. Every click here makes a request for this, request to this, and there we go. Since it's changing stuff in the database, technically it's not allowed to be a post request. So what we are going to do is, of course, make this Ajax post. Oh, of course, for a post we don't have a target, we wouldn't just swap. So forget what I said, we're gonna fix this later. There we go. With getting it works, of course. So, HTMX, something else we need to do here, or we need to look up. I mean, this was just something, yeah. There we need a target and a swap, and we need to define what we would need to swap. Oh no, this was the issue, it wasn't for it, because if we were to issue a post request, we would also need to add a cross-site request forgery token. And either we add one, but it's pretty much impossible for this thing. The other option would be to add CSRF exempt here. Because we do have our checks anyway, and without a session you will not be able to complete these checks. So let's go back here, and now this should also work with the post. Yeah, it also works with the post. Great, so we added HTMX now with a simple change. We now have, of course, we can add new organizations. We can change member types in organizations. Now we would probably want to add a new member. The way we add a new member, well, we decide how we want to add a new member, right? So we can do it in a very simple fashion. We could pretty much just do an input field here, add member, and then post this back. So let's have a look at HTMX with, because the thing is, I have done these things 1 or 2 times, right? But not everyone might have, and I want to navigate the documentations in a way that I would if I were doing this the first time. So what I want to do, I want to find the example, which I don't know where to find the example, but with a form field, right? Because we would need to add the submit thingy. Oh, this is interesting. I never thought about this. Is it a config request? Yeah. Well, why wouldn't we give it a try? So, the snippet you posted, what it should do, in theory, is it should add a cross-site request forgery, a CSRF token to any HTMX request. Because I think this is the event that is submitted. We can have a look here at the events. Okay, yeah, this is a custom event or custom signal. What was it you posted? You had config requests. After has collected parameters. Okay, yeah, this makes sense. Oh yeah, see, it's also used for auth, for an auth token here, and it's very similar. Yeah, of course we could add this. Where is it? Where? It is an event listener, so it pretty much doesn't matter if we put it at the top or bottom. So let's put it here. Of course, this should be inside a script tag, otherwise it won't work. Oh, my bad. Hit P. Let's see if this reformats. CSRF token is. Yeah, this sounds or looks about right. No, it's fine. You can. Yeah, true. I agree. The thing is, what I usually do is I have a separate base, I extend the base file with certain dependencies, right? And I will do this before I release this boilerplate. I will have a base with HTMX template, which I would only extend on pages that use HTMX. Actually, let's do it right now, because it might be interesting for people to see how this works. So we have our base. I'm just going to duplicate it. I'll call it base HTMX. Right. I will delete pretty much all of this except where I made changes. I made changes in this JavaScript. So let's delete this. On the above, I will, of course, extend base HTML. And here for block JavaScript, what I did, I added, where is it? Go away. I added this one, right? So I'm gonna remove everything from the block. And add this. And then of course I want to have everything that was above too. So I'm gonna do block and block super, which means everything from the super template from the template above will also be included. Then I can remove this one. I will delete everything down there until inline JavaScript, which is what we also edited. Remove this. And of course we also want to keep stuff from the, there is nothing here right now, because all of this will be deleted again. I will delete this here, and I also delete HTMX there, but here I will extend it. So this is the updated HTMX template. It extends the base HTML, sorry, adds something to the JavaScript. I want to have it before. This is different. I want to have this before everything that was in the super template, and here I put this afterwards. And now in organization detail, because this is what is actually rendered, I will extend base HTMX. Let's have a look at this one. It should look the same now. Great, looks the same. I will go where I have a second user, and everything still works, right? Everything works, and this is even better for the for dry pattern, because I actually only have the HTMX stuff where HTMX is used. Otherwise, I would have it present everywhere, and I don't want to. Like for example, here, if we look at the network tab, we will see HTMX will be used or will be loaded. You go away. Oh, where is it? HTMX is loaded, but if I go back to home, why is it still loaded? Oh, it's not found. It was from the cache. All right, my bad. So it's still cached for this. On the base, base. So it's still here and it's still cached. And why is it still cached? Can we examine the request headers on the snippet? Yes, we can. My question is why the... Oh, I failed to delete it from here. My bad. So, actually, let's check whether we messed up. So here it works. Let's go back to organizations and see if this really works, or if it was just, yeah. Here we have HTMX. Where is it? Here we do have, and here we don't. So we can on the snippet, because the clicking here sends a request. There we go, and we can examine the entire headers. So what do we have here? What was it that we added? What we wanted to add was a CS token request headers. Yeah, there we go. It is here, and it is successfully sent to the backend. And as a matter of fact, it would if this wouldn't have worked, we wouldn't have gotten any change, because on the view I already changed the the CSRF exemption, right? So if we go back to the page to this one, comment this one out. Okay, let's not comment it out because this is a bit weird. Here, it wouldn't work. Does it still work? Oh, the token is still here. Okay, the only thing I can... So now I'm really confused. Oh, this code is still here. Why is this code still here? So we are using... So this is the code we care about. Are gonna delete this one in the... It's not here. Where is this coming from? Kanamedi, thank you for following in my time of despair. So this one is still here, right? But why is it still here? I have deleted it here. And it shouldn't be part of the base HTML anymore either. Let's just restart the web server for whatever reason. Okay, now it's gone. Weird, but now it shouldn't work. Yeah, I'm clicking, it doesn't work anymore. I'm not sure what this message is supposed to tell me. I do have a login required restriction. My keyboard is sounding crazy nice. What is this icon that you have here? Oh, it's a place. It is not a custom build. It is this beautiful, beautiful thingy. I put it over here. It is the Keychron Alice, the Q10 with the Alice layer. Yeah, it is great. Quick detour is the Q10. What did I? Oh, I hit the escape button. I made a few customizations to the board. The Q1, I also have the... Whoa, I'm gonna kill myself. I have the K6 here, which was my very first Keychron keyboard, and I loved it. It was... I bought this pre-COVID, I think. And during COVID, I was with my in-laws for like for 2 months, 2 whole months. And I was only working on this keyboard, and this was actually when I wrote the startup for Airbnb. So Keychron Q10 Alice is the one I have. This one, but I do have brown switches, I think. Of course, if you are using blue switches, you will have your most fun, but I didn't want to kill everyone or make everyone mad at me. The box is also super pretty, right? So it's a super nice shine. If I had the lighting installed, you would see how beautiful it is. You pre-ordered a P1. This must be something new. I have not heard of the P1. Where are you? P1. Or is it P1 something different? Not seeing a P series here. It's not on the website. It must be very... Oh, on Kickstarter. All right. Nice. Oh, what's this? It pretty much looks the same as mine does. Yeah, it's the same that I have. Oh, it doesn't. Did it have a knob? Yeah, also. Yeah. Q10 Max. What's the difference between these two? They have the same buttons, right? Yeah, let's stop talking about this because it will rekindle my addiction for keyboards. And with me moving over to my new home, I actually sold four of my old keyboards, and let's not go back to what. Let's not go back to. Oh, it looks sleek. I'm not too convinced by this one, but it looks okay. Okay, it's a cheaper build. I see. Okay, I thought it was supposed to be something super premium. Looks great for this price category. You hate 75. Yeah, it is a decision for sure. I mean, this is even less, right? But actually, it's not that you hate the numpad. Yeah, I mean, I guess you can. What you can do, you can of course change everything you care about, right? You can change the keys. Where were we? Here. You can also change the keys, because if you have a look at this one, the escape button here is in the far left corner. I've of course changed this one to be like where's it should have been here. No, it should have been here, but I moved it down here because it makes more sense for me. Because when I'm typing in Vim or any editor, I need the escape button more than I need the backticks, and you can change the keyboard however you want. You can also add a layering system, which means if you, for example, hit one of the modifier keys on the left, you could make these keys your numpad, for example. But let's go back to being productive. So this one was great. If we have a look at what MGD showed us, now that we made the changes, this doesn't work anymore. So if we go back here and add the script again, we have this again, and this works. Sorry for it. Well, I don't mind the distraction, honestly. I think it's super nice to have different input. And as you could see, you weren't the only one with an obsession for keyboards here. So, yeah. But the sound is really nice. I really love it. You could also loop them up a bit to make an even more muffled sound, which I love. But I'm super happy with this keyboard. All right, so now what we wanted to do, right, was to add more people. And what we want to have a post. We're back to contents. Yeah, here the events would have been, right? So we want to have a post with an input field. Let's have a look at how this works. Because you can have your Ajax post inside a form, but I just want to find this naturally here. Oh, this is unnecessary for our case. Nope. Oh, this is also a fun way to play around stuff. Actually, let's just Google it. HTMX submit form. Submit form from the outside form. Oh, okay. Well, let's see what this is. So we need a form somewhere, right? So we have a user email and or a username. Great. This needs to have an ID. This does have an ID. And okay, so this goes to the form. I have to be totally honest. I forgot where the HX parameters go, where they go on the button or on the form. Also, you want to have a middleware required for everything. As a matter of fact, I wrote myself something similar to this, where I made a middleware to check, I defined all routes that were allowed for users that have a certain type of subscription, and I would do it something similar like this. You absolutely do not need to have need to use a package for this. But let's have a quick look on this. This should be super simple. Also, you like whitelist this instead. So just say where it's not required, and otherwise the default is it's required. Okay, I see. Let's go back here and see if we can find something with form. Form, okay, so we have this form and then something. Okay, so what we pretty much want to do, if for the detail view, we want to give a user the option to add a new user. So we're going to go for input here. So we're looking at an input field or input group maybe, I don't know. Is this something that we care about? Whatever, something like this. Oh, this is just too. So do we want to add a user? The thing is, we have a lot of different options to do this, right? So I think we should capture the email, and I'll tell you why. Because if you add a user, what kind of user should you be allowed to add? Should you be able to add users that are only those users that are already registered on the website, or also should you be able to invite new people? I think you should also be able to invite new people, and I think this is why we are gonna fetch the email. But the thing what I want is I want something like this, something that's together. Because as you probably know, I'm not the best at. So see, this is together, right? I have to be totally honest, my weak point is front-end design. And I want to do something, and this is why I need something like Bootstrap or a design framework. So here I could enter an email and then I could like invite, or here we could do something else too. Whatever. But what do we need? We just pretty much need something like, where was it? The one with the button on the right. Something like this, like recipient's username and button. But we're gonna change this a bit. So what we do here, we're gonna add a form. Let's just only do the form by now and change the direction, the action afterwards. Okay, so here we have the button. We probably want to do this some closer. So we are gonna do MD. So let's go with 6. And it's not inside a row, so it won't work. I fucking hate this. Okay. Okay, so an input. Okay, maybe we need to not have this in the input group then. So we do div class, we do make it call 6. Yeah, okay, so it would. Maybe do it even more or less. Let's go for call 4. Yeah. Outline primary or success. No, primary is fine, I think. And here we're gonna call this invite user. Right, so this will invite the user. We're gonna call this placeholder. We call this not sure this is so pretty, but it's fine. Invite user. It looks super ugly. Let's do a placeholder for something. Actually, if any one of you is a design pro, and after I'm done with all the functions, wants to check this out, let me know. So here we have 6 queries already. Why do we have 6 queries? These are obvious because we are working with an organization. This is fetching all the members. And why is this here then? This is for the permission check, whether the user is an admin. And this is to check whether a user is a member. Why are these required? Let's have a look at our code. Are we... Okay, so here we are... okay, so here we are getting... No, hang on. No, here we're fetching all members, and here we're fetching all admins. So this means that for here, for the members, we also grab more. We grab a name and an email, which is something we have not specified before. So here we are already fetching admin once and members once. So what I think we should do, let's have a look. This is something that is super important and is more of an advanced concept, because what we care about is we care about prefetch related. And have a look at this one. Where am I? Here this is as of now this is 6 queries, right? This is first a query for the session to get the user, and then to get the organization, then to get all the members, and then you'd use exists. I'm not sure this changes much. But let me show you what I mean. So here we can do admins, and we want to is it prefetch related, or is it the other one? Or select related? No, it's select related that we care about. So give me an example. Select related is blog. So here we would do, for admins, we would say select related. What we also care about is the name and email. Okay, for members, please be smart enough. We also have this. Then of course here we do members. Oh boy. And here we do admins. So then here we can do admins again. And then of course we pass this to the front end too. Members, admins. Then here in the table we have admins, and here we have members. I'm missing something. Not sure. Let's give it a try. See, we only have 4 queries now. We stayed with only this one. But actually we also don't see anything here anymore. Well, so wait, for here. Oh yeah, of course. This won't work for this too, because here for the member table, for the detail, no, for the views of the detail, we also need to add this information. So organization detail view, where are you? Here we have need to, where are you? Of course, also do admins and members here. Put members over there because we have this check here, and if they aren't a member, we don't need to fetch the admins anymore. See if this worked or if I am completely running my face into the dirt here. If org, non-relation field given a name. Okay, no problem, we will not in members. Okay, so they of course also need the ID. Are we looking at something wrong here? Organization members. User not in members. Okay, so this is of course. Oh, I see. So I'm going to show you why this is a problem, right? So if we print members here, you can I'm just doing this so you understand it. So here we print this. We have, or does it not even print? Because this should not error, right? Does this fail already? Station members? No, it shouldn't fail. So what it is that you are helping me with? So do I want to, okay, what's the difference? Is select related gives me just the, well, it just gives everything. Inner, okay, so we have the inner join versus the select, right? Oh, I am a complete idiot. Of course, select related doesn't work. Oh boy, this is just for foreign keys. I had a complete brain lag. This is just for a foreign key. So I would prefetch something like on something on the user that doesn't. Okay, let's forget the last 10 minutes what I told you. This was completely useless. Well, I have to admit I am I'm a bit ashamed now. Let's keep this as it were. No, that's not true. While this select related was completely useless, I have to agree. It's not all bad. Sorry. Not again. What is this issue? What did I put? Did I paste this over? So let's think about what the problem was. The problem was that here, if we do this, we just have, sorry, if we do this, right, so this line, it's just fetching it's a query set of the members, right? But the query set does not necessarily also already have the name and the email. So for prefetch related, okay, so I'm super sorry that I look like a total beginner right now. Because yeah, it forwards the foreign key relation. This is great. So this this means that it also selects everything from here. No, honestly, I didn't even have to do this because I'm not looking at changing this from the foreign key. I'm not fetching anything with foreign key. Everything I did was completely unnecessary. So yeah, I can pass admins and members. I'm not sure if this changes anything. Let's have a look at whether this changes anything. Because otherwise I just access this in template, or now I'll access this here. But yeah, we live and we learn. So what we also care about here, of course, is this goes over here. This is only needed later. This is wrong. This is not a user. What am I doing here? This, of course, is a query set of user. Same as this. Here we want to do members. Okay, yeah, you're welcome. I promised you I will put HTMX in. Okay, now we are failing something. I see why I did the other one. I need to join this, of course, because as an admin I should also be able to look into this. Okay, I'm here again, so admins wasn't defined. So here it wouldn't matter, right? So here we would have admins and members. We would call this once anyway. So we call this once in the template, and this is fine. And if we do it here I would do it one additional time, right? Let's go back to the model. And for organizations, we have admins and members. So if we go here, where are we? Admins all. And here we of course have org members all. Should be fine. We remove this one. We're also going to remove this one. Okay. views, you're getting detail view, and here on detail I am including member table, and it's probably not org, but organization again, organization. Okay, great, now we're back at where we were before. So now let's go back at inviting users. We should probably then also make a pending type, right? So this is what I mean by we should have probably planned this better. Here, but since we are not online yet, and this is just local development, it wouldn't matter. So we could invite a user and immediately make them a member. Or would have a pending status. Okay, let's invite them and send them an email. So let's make an HTMX view again. HTMX underscore invite member. We do we do this differently. So we have email, which is a string. Yeah, of course we also need the UUID of the organization we want to add the member to. So we get the organization. We then check whether there is a member. So if user object exists, then okay, hang on. We just fetched the user. Okay, so then else create the user, and we also send email to user. Send email to user informing them of the invite. Come on, you should be able to do this. So this will keep the default. Yeah, okay, let's send it. I actually have no idea where this is imported from. From Django core mail. Oh, this is what we do. Okay, so there's two ways. You can do this way, send mail, or because this is just a function, right? But what you also could do is create a email message. It should be somewhere here. Email message. Yeah, the email message class, and you can then call this on. The difference is here, this isn't sent already, and you could do something else. You could also store this later, or you could do something else. So you could, if you were to attach something, I think this is the smarter way. But we can also just do the simple way of send mail. Sure, why not? So subject would be you. Actually, let's make this an F string. You have been invited to organization, and then we have the name of the, we don't have the name of the organization yet. So let's put this up here. Actually, let's go with this. If they're not in members, oh, if they're not in admins, they're not allowed to do this. So, all right. So if you have been invited to join the organization org.name, please click the link to invite. Okay, from mail. We have the standard mail from settings. So let's try something else. We have settings. Default from mail. We're gonna add this from this way. This one, yeah. So we have our default from message mail, and the recipient, of course, will be email. We will need to make sure we get a link to. But okay, so here we would send a mail. The user is created, right? Has the user been created somewhere? So if the user exists, okay, so then here we already have the user, right? If the user has already been a member, it doesn't matter because they will only be added once. What are other options? So if the user exists, we fetch them and add them. If they don't exist, we create them. And send them a mail. Since this is HTMX, we want to return the table. So we are gonna do it like this. So, okay, let's go back to our URLs for organizations. Here we want to invite to an organization this email. Great, so this looks all right. If we have a look here, stuff is looking okay. Do we have our permission checks correct? So if the requesting user is not an admin, then they're not allowed to perform this operation. Great, so then actually, if we are in detail, page here, if request user in org admins all, then they're allowed to see this. Otherwise, they don't even need to see this. But it's just a visual thing. We need to make sure on the backside, the backend too, that they're not allowed to do this. Okay. So far, so good. This is just a detail view. This is the one I mean. Okay, let's see whether this works. Oh, it won't work because we don't have the HTMX wired. So we need to add this. So we do hx post where to URL organizations and invite member. Then we have the organization UUID. No, that's actually all we have. We need to adapt our URL. This won't be here. This will need to be fetched from this one. don't have an email here. We need to get this from the form. Yeah, whatever, if it doesn't have an email, then fine. Let's see if we have a simple way to check for a valid email address. Okay, I see. Okay, I'm not sure. Let's have a look at this later. So, because we will do some preliminary stuff here too. Where is the detail? So for input type, we can do email here. Fortran. Oh, thank you for following. How old are you, man? Welcome, welcome. Glad you could join. Oh, so here I am an admin. Yeah, there we go. This is the organization where I unfortunately unadmined myself. I'm just a member here, so I'm not seeing the invite field. And here I do see the invite field. So if I were to click this, I don't have, this is not a submit button yet. Wouldn't this like do something already? Yeah, perfect. So here, if I put something in here and I click on invite user, it says please include an attend email address, and this is purely because I set the input type to email. So doing this, click on invite user. Something happened. The post request here went through. Okay, so I didn't expect this to work, but we will check why it didn't work. So this we got the redirect for to organization lists, yeah, which was stupid. Get email, of course. This is probably why it errored, because I didn't set the name. I didn't think about setting a name. What's the name? That doesn't even have a name. Name is email. This of course also should never happen. So if we fail, we shouldn't render redirect in HTML. This is in HTMX. This is always false. So we should probably actually pretty much all the time we want to return the member list, right? So we are gonna do, where are we? It's called member table, not list. There we go again. They are not here, then I want to return an empty HTTP response. Yeah, something like this, okay. Here, inviting a member, if they are not allowed to do so, then they shouldn't have been able to see this anyway. And if this didn't work, if the email is wrong, this should also not be possible unless they try to manipulate the website. Okay. So let's go with this. Because this only happens if they try to exploit your website, right? If you don't show them the option to do this, but they could, of course, also send a request if you don't give them the option to. And they can edit a wrong email, but given we have this check here, there always should be a valid email or an email, right? But if they bypass this, then yeah, well, we just show them the finger and we don't really care about whether they have a good experience because they just want to exploit this. So at the end, let's try something whether this works now. Okay, stuff worked. Okay, great. So it worked. The only thing that didn't work is it was perfect. It worked. Everything worked as intended, but the placement was wrong. Because here on the detail we did not specify a target. Right. So what we want to do is we want to have hx target, and it's of course member table again. Because after we did this, it should refresh the table. There we go. Now we added a member. Now we made them an admin. Very good. So, looking at our page, we were able to create a new user and add them, which also should mean that the MailPit should have seen something. So we're going to our MailPit instance. Yeah, you've been invited to join my organization test. You have been invited to join an organization. Please click the link to accept the invite. Very good. So we were able to add them to the organization and send this to them. Now what we have to do is, well, thing is accepting the invite. The question is what do we really care about? Here they have already a user created. Do we have an admin site somewhere open? So for users, they will be here somewhere. Yeah. So these two or these three have been created. They don't have a verified email address. But if they were to log in, thing is, let's go to a Cognito page. If they were to sign in, they don't have a password, right? So they need to click forget password, and they get a password reset, right? Look at MailPit. Victor, thank you for following. So here they would have got a password reset email. Right, so the thing is, we could also tell them to just please be so kind and request an email. And update their password or reset the password. Hello, you've been invited to join an organization. Please click the link to reset your password. Right? And then of course we need to build a proper URL, a URI. So what we need to do is click here and setting space URL. Is this proper? I don't think so. What we need is we have our request here, right? So we built the absolute URI and which one is it? So if we go at the sign in page, to the sign in page, this page is, okay, so we have Django all auth password reset URL. It is account reset password. So we do reverse boy, there is so much going on here. Something like this. This could already be it, right? But I want to evaluate this myself quickly. And there's a few ways to do this. Something that I like, I just go here and I print the exactly this. Then I go to the detail page, if I find it. Click on any of these. Wait, why are there two? Did I create an organization on accident? Oh no, okay. I see. We will fix this afterwards. Yeah, it's account password reset, and this being part of build absolute URI will be a full request. So let's try inviting someone new. We invite a user. Great, there's a new mail. Please click the link to reset your password. They click here and they get to the password reset. So I think this is fine for now. Of course, what I would like to do is make this localized. So we are gonna make this an F string. An F string here. Victor, I'm gonna read your message in a second. Please bear with me. Please don't be a bot to sell something. Please be a real person. So we need this, that. We need the... I need to copy this from somewhere, because if I open my clipboard history, then you will see all my passwords, and this of course can't happen. Where can I steal this from? I need to import the localization model. Where are my users? There they are. Sure, it's here. Yeah, there we go. This one. Put, oh, this is from Django, so it goes up here. So now this works. Though you've been, please click the link to join password. Then yeah, okay, we can do a \n, and then we are also gonna put this in. You need single quotation marks because you're an F string. Okay, something is off, but I think I'm mostly done. What are you missing? Oh. There we go. Now it should work. Let's reformat this. Okay, this is properly reformatted. I don't think so. This looks better. Okay, let's try once. Okay, so Victor. You're a possible ban evader. You're being monitored, Victor. Let that be known. Just honestly, can you explain me the project structure of the entire project, or what I'm doing here in general? Give me a bit more detail here, please. So let's go back here, add another user, see what happened there. Okay, so this works. There is a unnecessary white space. Okay. Okay, this looks great. So this redirects me to the password reset, and I'm good. So for me, this is fine now. Let's change a couple of things here. Let's remove a couple of things here rather. Okay, so let's check why there's so many more organizations. Here I have an organization and I add the user. Let's check in the backend whether there is indeed so many organizations or if there is a display problem. Okay, so the test organization only exists once. Here in the views of them, views, position list view. Okay, so there is, I'm seeing all organizations where the user. Okay, so this is a problem with the root. Okay, so this doesn't make it distinct. This doesn't make it distinct. Can I just do distinct here? Nice. Okay, so this was an easy fix. Victor, if you're completely new and want to read up a bit on what we're doing, I would suggest you go to fcdevs.com and check out this post. There's a couple of links to a couple other things, and it will tell you what we're doing. As a matter of fact, Hamel is looking forward to it. I hope he's here. We're creating the best boilerplate. By best, I mean what you guys require or what you guys want. And as such, there's a couple of things we will include, a couple of features we will include, and yeah, a couple of them are already done. Right now we are working on organization/teams for multi-users. I would usually be a bit quicker when developing this, but I'm talking you through everything I'm doing because I want this to be I don't just want to have the end product. As a matter of fact, I also want to show you guys how this is done. And now we are good here. We have a lot of people here. We have we made members, we made admins. These people can log in. And next up, actually, let me toggle the floating nodes window again. Current task multi-tenancy with HTMX. Yep. Which is what we're currently working on. And as a matter of fact, now we do the organization context switch. And what I mean by this is, let's close all of this because these things are fine for now. Let's look into the models from users. We have our selected organization here, right? So our selected organization is the one we have currently selected. Yeah, so as an option to quickly have a look at which one we currently have selected, we're going to add the name over here in the organizations tab. This isn't pretty, but this works for now. Currently, we can have request user, and before I mistype this again, I'm going to do selected organization.name. Organization.name. There we go. Close the parentheses and refresh. Currently, we have full cycle developers selected, right? So far, so good. Let's make the option to switch. And we have a couple options. What I like in the end, probably, is there anyone who wants to suggest something? Like we could do this? Like a drop down, a change, anything. I'm open to suggestions, and I will have a look at some bootstrap thingies. Actually, let's see if there's a great nav bar with something inside. So we could do this in the nav bar. Okay, but drop down link, no. Color scheme, placement, sticky top, something. I mean, we could have something like this, a select drop down where a user could change it We could also have a drop down here for organizations, and then if the user clicks, it's a drop down to change to another, similar to this. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? There was a drop down somewhere. Yeah, I could do this. I could show full cycle developers, and if you click, you would have a change to another option. I don't know. What do you guys like most? Haven't looked at everything, I think. Okay, we could also toggle an off canvas where you could select your thingy here. Like an off canvas is something that like floats in. Click something and it goes here. We could do the selection here. I don't want to do... The thing is, what we need to take care of, or what we need to keep in mind, is this boilerplate is hopefully used by a lot of people with a lot of different requirements, and they should be able to change everything the way they need. Okay? So if we add too much complexity, or we add too much of our own opinion, then having them change it is unnecessarily hard. So if a drop down is enough, I mean, I could add such a drop down, or I could just add it to the navigation. The thing is, would you guys think it's easier to have a drop down, like a button? You could place this button somewhere else on the web page and it would work too. Or do you rather like to have a... I don't know, but what we can also do is have something like this, a selector. Yeah, where it says full cycle developers, and if you click on another one. This is possible. As a matter of fact, we can do this with HTMX too. Because we have... What? No, that's not what I wanted. Think. Yeah, we could make changes here, and then afterwards, after we click this, we could do something else. We should, of course, do something that's simple, right? Something that's both simple and looks not too horrible. I mean, we want to do this. So do we do a drop down, or what do we care about? I mean, a drop down is easy, a drop down is simple, or something like this is super simple. I think if we do it like this, it's a select box, and users realize they can select stuff with them, right? So I think we are just gonna do a select box. Where do we do it? That's the next question. Probably somewhere in the nav bar. What we could also do for my profile, we could for my profile have a drop down and have the select inside the drop down. Perhaps that makes more sense. So how I'm gonna go about this is I'm gonna go with the nav bar. Look where the drop down is, right? So where is drop down? Drop down. Copy this one. And I'm gonna only want to show this, of course, if the user is authenticated. So I'm gonna post this here and then refresh and see how it looks. Okay, now I have a drop down here, and it's not dropping down. Did I fail with something? No, this is the other thing. Why does my drop down not work? So it toggles drop down. And this is correct. I mean, where is this linked to? I'm not sure this is the correct code on the bottom here. Have a look at this one. Here it says nav item. Oh boy. Where are we here? Expand, please. Yeah, okay. Let's go inspect the code here, because I suspect that the code here might be wrong. So we have this. Okay, so it's nav item drop down. Correct. Then inside we have this class toggle drop down. Okay, and here's this drop down menu. No, this does look correct. Drop down toggle. Fine. Roll button and the BS toggles drop down. Okay. But why does this drop down menu know that it is the one to drop down? Because it is a child element? Perhaps because it's a child. Then why does it not drop down for me? This is frustrating, I have to admit. Okay, so why does this not drop down? Am I missing something? I have the bootstrap. Do I need popper for this? Why does, I don't know, this looks like it should be simple enough and should just work, but it just doesn't. Should be able to put this right here and it should just drop down. See if anything is amiss here. Oh, wait. It looks like I do need popper. Yeah. So we don't have popper installed apparently. Where are you? Well, that was a lot of time wasted for nothing. Actually, I'm gonna call this now my profile. Make this part of this, remove this all together. So this is still the same functionality from before. And oh, this is a good question now. Can I put the select here inside the dropdown. Questions over questions. Let's see. I'll just try and put it, I don't know, somewhere here. Let's see if this works at all. Oh, that's not doesn't look too bad. So I mean, of course it looks horrible, but I think we can salvage. So if we give the select the option drop down item, edit the class drop down item. Okay, it doesn't look like a select anymore. Let's put this afterwards. Okay, this doesn't work for me. So here, actually so we have my profile. Is this the way it looks on the nav bar? Where are you? The drop down here, it looks like this. Okay. So here it also looks like this, but this should probably look differently. So if we have a look at this, okay. So then we probably want to have the margin start of 1. Yeah, and the margin end of 1 too. Oh. What? I'm just putting something. Okay, it doesn't work. If we change the overall width to 75, oh, it looks bad. Maybe without the margin. How does it look if we put this into a top level? Like if we were to duplicate this and put it in here. I mean, does this look so bad, honestly? If we put this on the far right, if I put this over here, and it would just be showing the class. So here I probably delete everything apart from the top one, then the nav item, and here, how do I put this on the top on the right? No. Okay. What if we do an unordered list again? No, this looks horrible. What if we do a list item outside of an actual list? It looks even worse. Maybe this was even the best one. So this is aligned, but for whatever reason. Okay, so we have some sort of flex over here, right? What do we have? We have the container fluid, but this shouldn't be the problem. Okay, let's remove the width. Let's go back to the basics. Okay, so we have this one. Okay, how does it look here? It's too big over here. But here it just takes up 50% of the space, right? So this is, I don't know where it's defined, but this has flex. Okay, here is flex. Okay, so this means all of these children, all of the children of the flex, so all of here probably. All children are at 50% or are at equal width. And since we have our navigation as one of the children and the other child is our select, this just takes up as much. So I'm gonna activate a cheat code, because it's not the first time I made something like this, and I will look how I did it the last time. Okay, this was smarter. So what I did is I made a separate UL, so this has the same, and then I will make this a separate selector too. Okay, delete. Oh boy. Okay, so I'm gonna delete all of this, paste it here. You don't exist in this project. There we go. We have this on the far right. So let's make this smarter. Of course, selected will then be the current organization. So request user selected organization. Great. And then we will do for request user dot okay, sure, fine. Why are you unhappy with this? Oh, sure. For org-n. Actually, we don't need to hit name because we made the we set the string. And of course we need something similar to this. Right? Okay, looks good. Sounds good, looks good. Is good. Of course this doesn't do anything yet, and we probably should make this do something. So we need we call this organization selector or select, and of course this should do some HTMX magic, right? So what should it do? It should post somewhere. We don't have anything yet, and then it should also refresh the entire page, I think. Or refresh is true. Right, I have it on my other monitor because I'm going to cheat a bit. It's not allowed here? Yes, you will be allowed here. Okay, so it posts somewhere. And then, fine. It posts the value. Okay. Okay, so how do we do this? We of course need to go back to our views and to our HTMX views and make a new view, which we will call select organization. Organization. Okay, this just looks somewhat fine. Any questions so far? I know this has been going slower than usual. CSS is the most frustrating part. I hear you. It's really not enjoyable for me. So. Here what I need to do is I'm gonna create a new response which for learning views. What do you mean views? Like what I'm doing here is not that problematic, right? Or is it? We probably gonna do a we're gonna do okay, and then we're gonna do what's an appropriate colon. This one. Gonna do no content, but we're gonna add a header to it. The Django documentation is among the best that I've ever read. So we're gonna do Ajax refresh, I think is what it's called. Refresh, we're gonna set it to true. And then of course we're gonna return this response. Does this make sense? I think it does. Let's go to the organization URLs. I'm gonna call select on this one. As a matter of fact, this will be just like this, right? It will just be select. Yeah, it will just be select. Because we're gonna get this from there, and we're gonna make sure this is inside here. Probably need to put a name on this too, right? So we're gonna call this UUID because this was what the backend expects over here. Where is it? Over here. Okay, so did I make any typos or is this still online? All right, so looking over here. Something didn't work, and we're gonna find what. So for this one, it should have. Oh, we didn't add the didn't add the URL. So organization select organization. Probably should call it HTMX select organization to stay consistent. Yeah, we should call this one. Let's have a look at the networks tab. Okay, so there's still no request being sent. Why not? So we have the select, right? So form select, it has Ajax post somewhere, right? Then it has a name. So also need an indicator. I don't know if this needs an indicator, but my cheat sheet does have one, so I'm gonna put one in there too. Then it has the couple options, right? So with the value and all. Let's go. Why isn't it doing anything? Did I mistype something? Let's look if this has been propagated through. So it should post to this. I'm an idiot. Did anyone know why this didn't work? Because there is no HTMX available. So, Smart as me was bragging about putting HTMX only in HTMX-based views, and now we have it. HTMX is not available here. Let's make a top-level snip, well, not a file. You can go. Let's make a top-level snippets for snippets that don't really belong. Actually, does this belong to the organization? I think it does. Snippet, let's go with select organization HTML. This is just for this, and of course what it also needs is, so if this also needs HTMX, right? So but this is present on every web page, everywhere in the entire application, right? So we might as well add HTMX to the main template. Bummer, okay. So not just are we gonna add this one, we also need to put this one in on the bottom. Okay, now it works. So we have test here. If we click on FCD, it's refreshing up here, currently FCD, and now it's currently on full cycle developers. Okay, now we have our context switch, our organization's context switch. And as a matter of fact, we will also have a bit of a refactor going on here. We're gonna put this, we don't need this anymore. And also we are gonna remove this from here and put it into here. So we don't need organizations as a separate tab, we just have home, my profile, and organizations. And this is my profile, these are my organizations, right? Because I probably will not be having a look at my organizations every day, every time. Great. What's back here? View no longer needed. This still looks rather awful, but it has everything we need, right? So having a look at organizations, we can add a new organization. We can view a detail page of the organization. We will do a billing tab too. We can make admins, can make members, or we can unadmin people. We can add new people. It automatically sends them an email too. So this is great for now, I think. We will of course make this less ugly in the future. Let's commit this. Multi-tenancy with organization, right? This is what we need. Is there anything missing from organization? I will quickly, I will make a 3-minute break. Let's put something here that looks a bit interesting, so people, if they come during the break, will stay. I will make a 3-minute break. I will need to hit the restroom and grab something to drink. I will be back in 3 minutes, guys. I will run a 3-minute advertisement so that there won't be any ads while I'm doing actual content. And then I'll be right back. Okay, see you guys in 3 minutes. I'm gonna mute my microphone this time too. Okay. I just realized that I talked after I muted the microphone. What I was saying is, if you have any questions, pop them in the chat and I will read them when I'm back. BRB. Coco, thank you. You're completely right. I was an idiot and forgot to unmute myself. Thanks for telling me so much. So what I was doing now, I fixed my local environment so I could run pre-commit now, and I'm running pre-commit to check how many issues there are. So there is this issue for this line being too long. Okay, so we have a couple of options. We can either keep it the way it is. We could or fix it in a variety of ways, but I'm gonna fix the other issues first. So move this into a type checking block. Oh, I don't see why I should. Here's something unused. No. Okay, this package has been declared implicitly. We of course do not want that. So let's go over in our utils package. Put an init py in. An empty one, of course. Order of the model inner classes, meta should be for custom method. Okay, fine, if you insist. I don't have any problem with that. Let's see how much is fixed here. Our line is too long and those are fine for me. So how we should be able to deal with this is at the end, we should be able to add a little comment saying no QA. See if this works for this too. Okay, use specific rules. Okay, yeah, okay. Let's see what specific rule I can ignore. Yeah, give me an overview. So are you happy if I just put a 1 here? I'll just put in something random and see if this works, and then I check for a proper one. Use specific rule. Fuck off. Okay, then it might just... Yeah, I'm fine, it's just too long then, okay. So, what is an issue? Tag seems to be an orphan. Possible, where are you? Line 71. This looks majorly wrong. '71, where is it? Okay, so this is fine, right? Okay, so we have my profile. This of course should be closed here. Where is my profile now? So tag 71 seems to be an orphan still. So we have the drop down, fine. We have, this is like the name of the, this is the entire object, right? So the entire drop down object. Then inside we have the drop-down menu. Okay, so this has its own. Now, of course, I copy-pasted the above error here. So here I will fix the internal drop-down, and now this is the outer. So having a look at this, it should now work. Are you still unhappy with me? Okay, so there are no orphans. The thing is that my code formatting apparently is a different type of code formatting that the plugin uses. And honestly don't care. Let's keep what the plugin uses. We don't have any errors here. So DJ Lint formatted this fine. This is just formatting changes, and I'm not concerned by them. So running this again, everything passes aside from these three things that we don't care about. Okay, great. So organizations, functionality done, styling to be added later on. Okay, let's push this. Oh, I forgot to add this. Well. Okay, so what up next? Does anyone want to suggest something that we want to do next? If no one suggests anything, I will start researching the payments. And for researching the payments, I mean, I know what I did in my previous startups or my previous projects. I used Stripe for everything because I love Stripe. But the thing is, there are things that I think probably work better. What I've seen is Lemon Squeezy. I'm not sure how good Squeezy. I'm not sure how great with the Y, of course. I'm not sure if they are necessarily better. This would be part of the research process. From what I know, they are using Stripe under the hood, right? And so effectively you still use Stripe when using Lemon Squeezy. And that's then I'm not sure why I would want to use them. I mean, they may need sense if I want them to make a website for me. But I think it works. It's uses. I've read it somewhere that they use Stripe under the hood. But if there's PayPal here too, I mean, does Stripe have PayPal here too? Oh, Stripe alternative. Let's see. Thing is, I'm not sure if this what Lemon Squeezy claims to do is also do the tech stuff. Stripe does that too. I'm using Stripe to do all the tech stuff too. I'm sure. Is payments stuff that you want to do next? So of course, payments we could also do like. We could do a subscription for a user, or we could do a subscription for an organization. We can do a variety of different things. I'm not sure if this with the here's here. Okay, so I mean, if I'm not sure if I buy this because this is the worst case of all. What is a wedge? Oh, I see. So, okay, then let's do pay. The thing is, I probably will stream only for another hour or so. And we're gonna have to research a bit. Because the thing is, for if we go with Stripe, then the thing is there's also existing packages for Stripe. There's DJ Stripe, for example. DJ Stripe, I know, has its custom user models, and I did use them for the Airbnb startup, but I was a bit more inexperienced back then. For a different project, I completely built something separate around Stripe, and it worked at least as good. With Lemon Squeezy, I think the thing is we are going to use them completely headless, right? So the user doesn't really know that we are even using Stripe. We're just using Stripe, so they handle everything important on the backside, and we just interface with them. Yeah. So if I see this here with platform, they have a lot of different stuff like digital projects, digital online stores and stuff, and this is everything that we don't care about. We don't need this. We don't need a lead magnet and stuff. We are gonna, if we use Stripe, just go to their website. I'm not sure if they even have, I mean, they also have probably stuff already. Oh, have solutions by use case. I haven't seen this before. Okay, hang on, I'm gonna log in. Okay, I click on start now and I just get to my dashboard. Why? I don't see why this isn't interesting. Okay, let's get away from this. So the Stripe docs are pretty great, right? So we have a complete API reference and stuff, and also the community project that we did with the snowplow thingy, we also used Stripe. And we used it to like capture a credit card first, and then also later on to charge while the user was not online, because the user could like extend an offer, and if anyone accepts the offer, then the money would flow. So we're gonna have a look at DJ Stripe, as I told you before, and I'm gonna research these quickly. I did not know that they would have they had a separate website. I mean, it's not very beautiful and stuff. Question is whether we can even use them. I mean, they were the de facto standard back then, but I don't know if they still are. Or actually, can I just have a look at GitHub repo? What do we have here? Implements all of the Stripe models. When has this been last updated? August 8th. Let's have a look at some of the models, because I also want to, I mean, the thing is, It is a big project. DJ Stripe is great, don't get me wrong, but I'm not sure if this is still, I want to say, relevant at the moment. Okay, so we do have the invoice. Give me a few examples and I see if the usage is more interesting. I would assume this is super easy. Okay, so the webhooks would work by default, so I wouldn't have to like work around with them, which is great. Let's see how subscribing a user to a plan works. Where is this? What is this price? Is this an internal object? Okay, so custom I think is would be the internal object of DJ Stripe. So you would subscribe them to this. Yeah, I mean these two are the same, right? So this is for 2 and this is for 1 item. Okay. This looks easy enough. Well, it's not so much more difficult when using the Stripe, when using the official Stripe. So here's the thing, managing subscriptions and payment sources. I get it, that it's nice to like call a method for this. But the thing is it really necessary? I give you an example that I did last time too. So if we go to Twitter, right? So because I use Twitter, I love to use Twitter as an example because Twitter does it and Twitter is pretty big. So if I go to Twitter, right? If I go to, I don't know where is this, I go to premium, I click on this one, and then I click on manage a current subscription or whatever. Okay, so I have some options here too. Okay, this is not, why is this now like this? Okay, maybe it's this if I click this. Yeah, this is what I wanted to see. So if I click manage payment method, right? I'm outside of Twitter or X, right? So I am on, you can see the URL on the top here, this billing.stripe.com, right? So I'm using a session from Stripe. Yeah, and what I can do here, so this is I am a subscriber to X Premium Plus, and I can see some details here. I can cancel my plan. I can change my payment method here. I can edit my billing information. I see all my invoice history. I can download all the invoices here. A lot of these things are like already provided by Stripe. I don't know since when Stripe does provide something as great as this, but this Stripe subscription session here is awesome, and I don't see why I shouldn't use something like this and instead use this. The only reason why would be that for whatever reason it's bad to have this. I'll explain it in a second. What I get from it? Sure. I give you the official detail. Where is it? No, where is it? Premium. I get no advertisement, and I hate reading advertisement. That's pretty much it. I apparently should get a boost to my posts. I don't know if this actually happens. I have 258 followers. If you want to follow me, I'm gonna spam the link here. Go ahead and do so. I would greatly appreciate it. The thing is, I wanted to like also start posting on Twitter more, and I did. I have over 1,000 posts, which they're all around this topic that I'm talking about here. And I thought that if I would subscribe to this, I would get a better traction. I have no idea because I have no comparison. And yeah, it's 16 bucks a month. I honestly never bothered canceling it anymore. Yeah. So if you want to follow, yeah. You don't see ads on Twitter. What you mean? What I see with not like this. Yeah, the one that's not disturbing, like the one that looks organic and natural, is the one that's super dangerous for me. I think the one that I don't like at all. So what I wanted to show you is pretty much if you have a page that's as big as Twitter or as X, they are using the subscription managing thingy. I don't think that I would want to use DJ Stripe. So what I want to do, I probably would want to do, is I have my application, right? So what? Actually, I'm gonna stop calling it boilerplate because boilerplate has a bad connotation and it's actually so much more. I'm gonna call it a starter kit from now on. Thing is, or the Swiss Army knife of Django development. The thing is really that the only thing why you would want to do this if the user is not pretty much never allowed to see that you're using Stripe, because you just want to use Stripe under the hood for whatever reason and not use the integrated Stripe portal or admin portal or user portal or subscription managing thingy. I don't understand why you would want to do that, and I personally don't like it. Because the thing is, you could have the thing if you use webhooks, that is, if any one of you that is here remembers what I did with the 6.5 hour live stream, what I did then was I did give all the option to do stuff on the website, but when you wanted to add your payment method, you were redirected to a page from Stripe. And the big thing is, and then afterwards you would get a callback, and then you could handle this stuff. And the callback would include whether this subscription worked, if the user entered a valid payment method, if the payment method needed additional verification and stuff. That's all fine. But if there is something like an additional verification needed, then Stripe will take care of it, right? It's not your problem. And I'm sure that somewhere here, this is explained how you have to handle it, right? So subscribing someone is fine, but at this moment, the user would already have to have a valid payment method, right? So managing payment sources, I mean, if I click on managing payment sources, there's not much here. Am I missing something? It says managing subscription and payment sources, and the only sub-point is managing subscriptions. Using Stripe checkout, okay. The linking here is a bit weird, but good. What does using with Docker mean? What do I build here? Also for this, for the CLI, for local webhook testing or what? Yo, I don't think this is required. Developing with local webhooks, we can do this without having the CLI inside Docker. So for usage, using webhooks, fine. How do I... Okay, installation, fine. I add this here, then I add stuff there, fine, okay. All good. Okay, this would sync automatically, but how do I get a user to put their account data in? See, integrating Stripe elements, like the thingy with, what's it called? With the credit card window, it shouldn't be required. Like this is just additional stuff that you could stumble across, and you would put additional unneeded complexity into your web application, which I strongly advocate against, except you have a very good reason, and I don't see a very good reason here. Let's go back to home if there is something that I missed. Yeah, all good. Yeah, gold sponsors, great. So it's just reference, right? Okay, all the models, great. Billing model, I would assume. See, you have for the coupon, you have everything there. So the reason why this is, of course, if you have the Stripe API reference, you can also have the coupon stuff here. Here, right? So you could always get them directly from Stripe, and there is where is the snippet thingy? Why is the snippet thingy not here? Because I'm at the API specification, not in documentation. Okay, so here if I were to go to coupon thingy, here for the docs, probably give me the API reference for this set. Okay, let me check. Is that just something for coupons too? Because maybe this is too hard. Okay, so adding discounts, yeah, coupon create. See, you can create a coupon for, like, this is a one-off coupon. You can create this for, just so your user can get a 20% off thingy once, because whatever, this might be your retention strategy. And here is the coupon probably somewhere. Yeah, you can add a discount here. You can configure a coupon, and I'm sure you can also like fetch the coupon from the API. Where is it? Yeah, promotion codes. And you can get this, and if you click this, and your response will be up to 3 coupons. Right, the thing is it really required to have everything like this also synced to your database? I don't think so. And if so, something simple like coupon, you can still add this manually. But I don't think you need to put everything that's on Stripe already into your database, especially when you plan to do most of the management of the user accounts outside. And I think the only reason why, where was this? Here, where I did this, is I'm not going to click anything, but I mean, cancel subscription. Probably all of these will redirect to the user panel. This is what I meant with user panel, right? Because I can change the plan. I can't change the plan apparently here, but I've seen other websites where you can change your plan. You can cancel your plan here. You can do everything you need, right? And the Stripe webhook, this is what you will need. Okay, so this is my test environment, which we are going to use to implement this afterward. But yeah, for promo codes and stuff, fine. If you were to use promo codes, then you can already give them the promotion, right? If you use the Stripe dashboard panel, it's fine. You don't need to sync everything. I think I'm just talking in circles here. What I'm saying is that DJ Stripe, is a great thing and probably use, but I think has lost a bit of its glory just because it's the main Stripe, because Stripe itself has grown so great. What I'm also missing a bit here is how do you create a customer account for a user? It's I'm not sure if I'm too bad to see this on what I think I should see this at first glance. Oh, here, introduction. Maybe it is. Oh wait, this is everything like this. Yeah, installation. Okay, this is not ideal. I don't know, man. Let's see if we can find anything else. Okay, just 24. I thought March 2020. Okay, so this is kind of up to date, but okay, though this isn't. So what's Stripe Django? Okay, this release has never been updated. Yeah, just Stripe automatically syncs, but do I care? 2014. So this might be boring to some, but the more you read about this and the more you see from, for example, even guides from other people, how they do it, and this is important because if I select one option, how I'm going to do it, I'm pretty much locked in. If I were to redo this again, it would be extremely time intensive. So let's have a look at what they do here. So I'm not seeing any external packages. Fine. Pillow, what is Pillow?